It becomes the tool that the person loves to have and also understands that this really helps. I have clients that they were coming back, like they stopped the happy body and came back. And when they came back, everyone said the same thing. I've never felt better than when I was doing the happy body.
This is the Home of Healthspan podcast, where we profile health and wellness role models, sharing their stories and the tools, practices, and routines they use to live a lively life. Jerzy, this is a particular honor to have you on today. I am a longtime follower of your book and practitioner of your exercise. But before we get into what that is and the whole happy body methodology, how would you describe yourself?
I'm a lively mentor, coach, happy husband, devoted father, dad. I love people and I love finding solutions for problems, whatever we have. And I am crazy with finding those solutions and getting more knowledge, getting more experience, getting practice, and developing different better habits. Good. That's probably it.
I think it's also a beautiful illustration of Arthur Brooks talks about our resume traits or our resume kind of bullets and descriptors versus our eulogy descriptors. And I noticed you did not put in 4-time world champion, world record holder, any of those things in defining who you are as a person, right? These are things you have done, but your identity is tied to this impact on the world as well. So I find that just the way you did that was beautiful.
Oh, I think that the bigger story is to be the inspiration, be motivation to the world, to people, care for the planet. So, achievements are great things, but these are the helpers, I would say, with how to do what is the hardest.
Yeah. Well, I see behind you the hard choices, easy life, easy choices, hard life, right? Like,
yeah, that's bigger than anything, right? Because this is how to live life. Like Naval Ravikant said, Jerzy gave me 4 words. Hard choices is life, and he told me how to live life.
Yeah, it's in Naval. It was actually, I originally learned about happy bodies from Tim Ferriss, as I think so many things in my life I learned about it. And as soon as he said, hey, this is a thing I really need to get back to more. My body feels better. I'm happier when I do it. And so I bought the book immediately and started doing it. And then it was Naval's brother, I think, also references you in his book. Yeah. And so you've definitely impacted some of the people who've impacted other people as well. So as a mentor, you think about your coaching tree, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, but then there is the happy body, the happy body is something that exists, like has its existential presence. And it really doesn't care about me at all. So I need to practice too. So I practice this every day. So if I don't practice, I really don't get the benefits of it. So it's something is there, like yoga is there. But if you practice yoga, you get the benefits of yoga. So the happy body is that way. It's like, the practice is there, the wisdom is there, the plan is there, strategies are there, tactics and so on. And it's really up to us whether we practice that or not. And then how to get to that message, actually to get the message that it's a good thing to practice it. Well, that's the first message really that needs to be somehow delivered if we care for people. And then the next message is, how to actually make it happen, how to motivate yourself on a daily basis, how to like something that you repeat over and over, and why. So the why is important here, because once we deliver the why, then people bear anyhow. They're okay. That is hard choices, but they have to understand why we are doing it, and from the certain perspective, that is embraceable.
On that, I mean, when we talk about the happy body methodology and principles, can you define that? I mean, obviously, as someone who owns a book and does it, it's clear to me. But for our listeners, can you just introduce the concepts, please?
I recently think about it as athletic lifestyle medicine. So why I like it that way? Because it is medicine, because it helps us to heal, it helps us to get better. And it is lifestyle because it is respond to the lifestyle conditions, problems, chronic problems. And because the chronic problems are usually lifestyle causes, so we need lifestyle solution for that. So it's in a way what Einstein said, insanity is to keep doing the same and expect different results. So we get stuck in that. And so we need a different lifestyle. So the happy body is just respond to people's problems and to people's chronic problems of pain and degradation and body breaking, so they can heal, they can get better. But that's not really enough. For a while I thought about that the happy body is a lifestyle medicine, but it is not, because it also makes us better than ever. And that is a kind of athletic pursuit, something that has the compound interest built in the development of skills and improvement. So I like it to call it athletic lifestyle medicine.
Yeah, I like that, because if I understand the distinction you're making, I mean, when it's just lifestyle medicine, especially in Western culture where medicine, the thought is, hey, we treat sickness. So when it's just lifestyle medicine, the idea is, hey, we're treating what's already gone wrong in the body just to get back to bland, right? Like just to this low level base, that's the ceiling. And you're saying, no, this unlocks this new potential that is thriving, these bodies meant to move and be strong and feel great and energetic. And that's truly what you're delivering.
Yeah, so it's improvement that is based on doing over and over the same thing, but also accumulating something. To understand that, I like to explain the idea of investing money. So if you have $5 and invest every day, and after about 30, 40 years, you have 70,000, let's say. But if you invest this money with 10% interest, then compound interest creates almost $1 million after the same period of time. So that's clear that 10% is a good thing. Now, the 10% is something that is dangerous too, because if you engage yourself in 10%, you can lose money if you don't know how to really invest money. The same, if you exercise wrongly, you injure yourself. So if you meditate, wrongly, also you can have problems with how you create anxiety during the meditation. With food, it's the same thing. So there is a certain compound interest built in the happy body. So you practice it and you get better over time, and over time more, and you create this athletic or artistic practice, let's say playing piano, and the compound interest happens, you get better and better. To also understand it from a different perspective, look at all athletes, let's say track and field athletes. They're all different. Some of them, they jump. Some of them, they run very fast. Some of them throw things. but they are like a pole vaulter. Pole vaulter practice over and over and over the same one thing only, and because of that one thing, that pole vaulter becomes this incredible specimen of power, flexibility, strength, and beauty, and on and on and on. But we look at the same way on the long jump or like javelin, and we see the same thing. So I understood that people need to have the compound interest, do over and over the same, and add certain things peripherally so to whatever they do, and then they will get that compound interest eventually. If they change, they will never get it. So if they jump between the skills, they do a little bit yoga for 2 years, and they shift to the happy body for 2 years, and then shift again to something else, they will never really experience the compound interest after 5 years. And that is an amazing specimen because, to create an athlete takes about 5 to 10 years. And we need that. But we need that also for the compound interest and that feeling of power after this kind of improvement.
Well, it's power, but it's also strength and mobility. That's one of the things I really like about the program. It's not just about loading more weight. A lot of it is expanding the mobility, at least for me, right? Like especially on squats and the overhead squats, I had much more limited range. I could go technically like do a back squat and do heavier weight, but I didn't have the range that Happy Bodies helped me build up. And so it's not just the power, or maybe it's the same thing, but power in a wider range of motion and movement and flexibility.
Well, the first is the capability of the body to deliver the skill. So if you ask, let's say, a person to do the snatch, but the body is not capable actually to do because of the flexibility, so you need to develop first flexibility. So that the Happy Body is focusing first on where is flexibility, where is limitation, and how to start the improvement of flexibility to the perfection, to the place where actually a person can do overhead squat freely, go down, press, stand up. And that is the final flexibility test for starting, let's say, Olympic weightlifting, or improvement of the strength and speed within that if somebody doesn't want Olympic weightlifting. Flexibility is just the capability of the muscle to stretch and permit the movement. The mobility is the movement of the bones without obstruction. So mobility is different than flexibility. So if you have obstruction, let's say in the joint, the bone spur or something, so there is no mobility. You can be flexible but not mobile, or you can be mobile, but if you don't have flexibility, you will not move. So we need those two in order to create agility. Another thing that actually flexibility and mobility works together, and we actually can move in every direction and so on. So the Happy Body first focuses on flexibility, mobility, and then once we have it, we can actually do complex movement.
That makes a lot of sense. I didn't realize those distinctions, the flexibility, mobility to lead to agility. And then that's the athleticism, I guess, that you're referencing.
Right. So if you don't have agility, you need to look into flexibility and mobility that is there. And then if the flexibility and mobility is there, then you can start improving the strength and the speed of the movement and then creating power.
I mean, I think your background, right? World record holder, 4-time world champion in this specialization, right? 10 years, a decade of just like right. Focused, very specialist. And then this transition to athletic lifestyle medicine, right? For people of, hey, I'm going to specialize you for a strong, vital life. And yes. When you were moving from one to the other of like, hey, I want to enable and give people this capability, how did you identify the exercises that go in? I mean, technically, I guess it's 18, but there are a lot that are kind of built on each other. So I don't know it from the book, right? It's kind of three sets of 6, but some are very similar to each other, kind of built up. How did you pick the ones that comprise what made it in there?
The most powerful exercise on the planet is a snatch. So if you can perform that, you have capabilities of improvement of any power and skills of any sport. So now if you think about the snatch, is a kind of static movement would be squat press. So you will squat with the bar, press, stand up, very difficult, right?
It's very hard. That's by far the hardest in the program.
That exercise became the focus of the happy body and the focus on actually deliver possibility to actually do that before we do Olympic weightlifting. So as I coached people for 40 years and they wanted, different things. They wanted to either be beautiful, strong, pain-free body, capable, aging powerfully. So there were different reasons. But if I follow the power, if I follow the flexibility, mobility, agility, and so on, they were getting better, and everything was happening. So the focus became more on the snatch and capability of the snatch. Eventually, this is like a one power, but the happy body ends on the squat press. It's a overhead squat press, and that is the king of the happy body. All the 17 exercises are there for that one to happen. So that one challenges every inch of the body system. So you have to be flexible in the ankles, in the knees, in the hips. The whole spine has to be really flexible back and forth. And the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists, everything has to be flexible and mobile in order to create that movement. So when a person practices the happy body, finds limitations. Oh, I cannot squat all the way down, but I can squat to 17 inches. Okay, I see the problem here. I see resistance. So I practice it. I practice it for 2 weeks. Oh, I feel better. The whole tension vanished. So now I can go to 16 and a half inches. And that opens the possibility for microprogression, right? And then you go every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you go half an inch down, 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 down. And eventually, you end up without any box, any limitations. You are free to perform the movement. And as you perform the movement of the overhead squat press, then that creates the possibility for the strength and power and so on. If you want to stay and practice that one and 17 others, you create for yourself the music to repeat. It's beautiful music, capability of getting stronger within that movement, and doing quicker even the exercises that creates the power. And because it's the compound interest, after 10 years or 20 years, the body really loves the music. The body really likes to practice it. So when you are 90 and when you wake up and you might be stiff or something, if you go and over through the happy body, within 10, 15 minutes, it will restore any stiffness or tightness that could be developed because of you being in bed, being sleeping certain way, or whatever it is. So it restores you for the day. And that is familiarity of that also creates the possibility for the person, when you actually do that, find out where the soreness is, where the tension is, something new happened there, and release it. That's the medicine of the happy body. The body is because of a data accumulated over long period of time, the person knows the body and knows when the body loses limitation, loses the it faces limitation, and that limitation was not yesterday, but it is today, or the soreness is there, or something that happens, that obstruction, and then the person can release that because of the happy body. Within 2 3 minutes, is gone. But if that was something that would not be tested on a daily basis, it could hang on for a week or two and become a problem and not in the body. That could take weeks or months to heal.
Most corporate wellness programs overwhelm employees with too much, or they offer too little to be useful. A Lively gets it right. We start with each employee's data and goals, then serve one clear, personalized action at a time. No noise, just real behavioral change. The outcome? A healthier, happier workforce and measurable impact for your business. Visit alively.com to see personalized wellness in action.
So, you reference yoga, and people might have a yoga practice. They say, hey, look, I need this, whether it's mentally, physically, X times a week, or they may love cycling or running or swimming, or they're training for a triathlon, or they may have a weightlifting practice and they have a routine there. What is the frequency that you suggest people do happy body? I mean, is it you need to get the benefit, it's a minimum of this many times a week? Is it you need to do it every day? I mean, realistically, with trying to fold it into other things they have, what is that cadence?
So if you don't have any other sports, you just live life and have the happy body, then you do it every day, and you do it in a way that practice to actually become better over time. So that compound interest, you learn how to really engage. If you have other sports, and like I do Olympic weightlifting, somebody can do skiing, or right, like you said, you run a marathon or whatever it is that you do. That I do the happy body only 15 minutes after whatever I do Olympic weightlifting, and I do is for me the happy body is internal massage, but not only, but it's also a tool to decode or discover problems that I could accumulate during my training. So let's say I find the shoulders and I stretching and I say, well, it was not there yesterday, but it's today. After cycling, let's say somebody for 2 hours doesn't know that the back is in pain, but once the person does the happy body, finds the limitation, tension, pain of the back or whatever, and through the movement can release it. So the happy body works like this internal massage, and it becomes this daily medicine to release any problems that could be accumulated during the practice and training of the sport that somebody does.
And so when you say you do it for 15 minutes every day, so after other things you're doing, you throw this.
Yes, right away when I do Olympic weightlifting, I go only through these 18 exercises, only 3 repetitions each one. And that helps me to know whether I accumulated something or I didn't. If I did, then I focus to release it. If I didn't, then it's fine. That where it ends. It can be even 10 minutes that I go through. It's like, you would do the stretches after the finishing your training or before that. So the happy body helps me to know that no problems are there in the body after the training.
It's 6 reps of each of the 18 exercises 3 times through, and you're able to get through that in 15 minutes.
I do only 1 round only. So,
okay. I was saying this takes me way longer.
No. For people that are really, for athletes that they use the happy body, they use it only for to to find out whether something is wrong.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So I go on the 3 repetitions every exercise and I finish. So
Got it.
if let's say I go standing tall and nothing is there, then I go to another one, 3 repetitions every one. If I find something, then I work on it. I could stay with that exercise a little bit longer, do 6 repetitions, or take a break and do another 6 to release, to find out how to release that. There's some problems that accumulated in my body during the training.
Yeah, it's my daughter's 9 and she comes to the gym with me each week for one day. And because other days she does football, so she's playing a ton of that. She had gotten into long jumping and high jumping, and so we had gotten exercises on YouTube on, okay, for track and field, like these are explosive for jumping. But I'm wondering if something like this would make a lot more sense, foundational, but also the power of doing the same thing instead of it changing each week, whatever we're doing, having something that she can see herself get better, get stronger, get more flexible. I know on the cover you have, I want to say your granddaughter, like, do you have an age that you say, hey, you shouldn't really be doing these movements before? Or is this like, look, it's a happy body for any age. You could do these movements. You just don't necessarily weight load them.
Well, I have wooden bars that I created for girls that do gymnastics, and they are 3 years old. So 3 years old already do the happy body, or they can do the snatches, and it's actually amazing to see the body that can perform. But there can be 5-year-olds that already lost flexibility.
Yeah.
So if flexibility is not sustained, then we lose it. And I see when I go sometimes to elementary school and see 6, 7, 8-year-old, many of them, they cannot bend down and touch the floor and cannot sit without raising the heels. They are already inflexible. They're already stiff. So it's not like old people are stiff. Kids are stiff too. We don't have the lifestyle. You see that we don't have the lifestyle of supporting agility or mobility or flexibility.
If anything, it seems to be getting worse. I mean, in the sense of sitting was always a problem, right? Chairs are not natural. If you go to Asia, other parts of the world, they squat. So everybody, an 80-year-old can do heel to butt squat because they have to go to the toilet and everything. Like you have that.
Yeah, yes, but it's not. They start removing those things, and people lose this capability. When you practice it, and how you can daily practice something. It has to be daily. That's why we decided that the happy body is a daily practice, like brushing teeth. And if a person can do it on a daily basis, then the person needs only to find how to practice it and enjoy it. So all of it has to be done the way that you really like to stretch, to connect to the movement and like to move and stretch and feel good because of it. Once the person finds it, then the person wants to go back. And once the person gets the idea of the flexibility, how great it is, like how we feel when everything is free, there we don't have pain, we don't have stiffness, the body is mobile everywhere, in every direction. That's a good life.
I do think it's a real missed opportunity for a lot of people, because the thing is, unless it's a serious injury, right? It doesn't happen overnight. It's not an inflection point. And so it's this long time building. A 10-year-old who's lost mobility and flexibility doesn't remember what she could do at 2 and her flexibility. It happened day by day, just the tiniest bit. And so it's just, this is normal. And then especially you get to your 30s, 40s, 50s, you say, well, I feel fine, because it's how you remember feeling every day. Yes. And you don't realize, wait, there's this whole other feeling of getting out of bed and feeling energized and excited to take on and unlocking this vitality that is there and ours for the taking if we do the right things.
Yeah, when you get there to the place, the body craves the happy body. It craves to go and move and unlock itself, right? If something is not right. Let's say foggy brain, kind of tired and exhausted. But when you go to the gym and after 10 minutes you release that foggy brain, that the person knows that, oh, I go to the gym and my foggy brain is gone. So then it builds up. So then also motivates strongly a person. Okay, I know, I go do the happy body, all will be gone. The same with the shoulder pains, the back pains, and all the problems of the body that they can be released. And the person develops the data. Once the person develops the data, this kind of a data, the person is motivated and loves the happy body, loves the routine, because then goes to the gym and moves and can release problems, can also improve over time. So it becomes the tool that the person loves to have and also understands the compound interest and understands that this really helps. I I have clients that they were coming back, like they stopped the happy body and came back. And when they came back, they said, everyone said the same thing. I've never felt better than when I was doing the happy body.
It is a funny thing that the most important lessons in life aren't the new ones we learn. It's the ones we've learned and forgot, and we have to relearn. Right? So many things we know, and then we lose it over time. We get back like, oh yeah, this was way better. Why did I stop doing this? This is so great.
But this is a good thing. It's a message, right? So once you get the message that you were doing something and you felt good, then you want to go back. And that is already a great experience because you know that something worked from experience point of view, not the idea of point of view that, oh, it's a good thing to do the happy body. If you've never done the happy body, then it's an idea, right? But it's once you practice the happy body and you come to the point that the body likes it, you feel good. And then you get bored, right? And then you stop it. It's boring, doing the same thing, But after a year or two, you get worse and you just think, well, I felt so good when I was doing the happy body. So you go back and you have a different perspective now. You have a perspective of the one that appreciate the happy body. You appreciate the movement, the patterns, and you start learning from a different perspective. You become the master, the owner of your own improvement, your own practice. It's yours now. It's not Jerzy anymore. It's yours. And that's why, the happy body purpose is independence. It's something that anybody can take and create this fantastic lifestyle for themselves. And that's the beauty of it, that, focus on practice, focus on improvement, become the independent from everything else and experience this music, this music playing over time every day and become like a pianist that, get better and better and you get better and better in it. And your body is the piano, is the instrument. And it's also getting better because of the playing it.
Yeah. On you referenced the data. And one of the things I find interesting in the program is the specific ratios you have of, hey, you have a base level weight and then you use half that weight for this exercise and 1.25 or 1.5 for this and 2x for this. How did you determine the ratios of weights for the different exercises?
Well, it's the balance of the strength of different muscle groups. So let's say the shoulder press is, let's say, in order to do the clean and jerk, you have to have a 58% power to press the bar behind the neck, right? So then that capability has to be developed before. So when you imagine snatch, let's say, then there are a lot of different exercises supporting that: squat, presses, deadlifts, and so on. And those exercises, they have percentages. What is the percentage, let's say, of clean and jerk versus the squat? It's 127%. So Olympic weightlifters data already found that you need 127% of the clean and jerk in order to approach clean and jerk, right? So let's say if you want to clean and jerk 100 pounds, you should be able to squat on 127 pounds. And the same goes with pulls and everything else. Everything is percentages and develop over 100 years of practicing Olympic weightlifting. So coaches know that. So they have to achieve every percentages in different pulls and presses and squats before they actually permit the lifter to attack the record. So it has to be ready. The flexibility is also element that needs to be there. So there are exercises for flexibility, there are exercises for agility, and you can imagine a sprinter. Let's say a sprinter is getting to break the personal record, but the personal record has to include flexibility that supporting the improvement of speed. If it's not there, the sprinter can pull the hamstring or the Achilles. So the coach has to know how much flexibility that sprinter needs before that sprinter goes 100% in the competition and possibly breaks the record. Yeah. So it's a rare balance of many things around that a coach needs to have complete this imagination of everything, how everything works.
And for an individual, right? So someone coming in new to this, it may have had a program before and have imbalances, right? Maybe they don't have the mobility and flexibility and they can't do the squat, but they have a really strong upper body. They were just so focused. So they're trying to back out on their row weights or what they can do on the bicep or tricep or mountain. But then, they can't do the multiple of that for some of the squats and the overhead. Do you say go down to your weakest and use that as the base and go around? Or do you keep the higher weight and adjust the mobility? So you say, hey, it's going to be 17 inches. We're not going down to 14, but keep the higher weight. How would you suggest people approach it?
It's music, right? So you play piano, let's say, and one finger doesn't work. All right. So when you play, you wait for that finger to work. And the other pieces of music are not really getting better. Everything works and waits for the finger to work, to get in. And so the pianist works and works until the weakest link becomes better and matches the links of the chain. So the wisdom is here in life is to focus on the weakest link, make it focus, right? And then work on it and wait until everything else, catches up. So coaches, when they find out that, let's say, squat is the weakest exercise in the athlete, and the athlete needs more strength than speed, focuses on the strength first. But then when the coach finds out that the speed is weak, then focus on speed until everything matches itself. So in the happy body, there are many ways to approach. A person can approach getting stronger within the certain limitations. Let's say squat press to the 17 inches, squat and press, but the flexibility only is permitted to the 17 inches. But the person can get stronger meantime before the flexibility improves in that. Between the exercises is important because the body is the balance of many muscles and strength of the muscles. So it is important to follow the percentages. Let's say if I do the opening wide, it's this one, I'm not going to be as strong as in this one, right? So it will be a certain percentage, and that creates safety valve, right? All the safety. So we don't progress too much. My experience about that was when I worked in the Gold Gym in North Hollywood. There was this weightlifter who loved to do tricep, and he was doing tricep weighing the 200 pounds, but he was not able to press 200 pounds. And pressing 200 pounds he should press more in the press than actually tricep, and even less in the bicep. So then, but he loved the tricep. I said, hey, you're going to injure yourself because your shoulders are not really matching the power. So the shoulder should have more power than the tricep. Oh, I said, yeah, I love to do the tricep. And he got injured. He tore his, shoulder, legroom, and, got really himself into the surgeries and so on. And I said, okay, did you get the message? Yeah, I got the message. And after half a year, I see him doing the same thing. He's like, I went to him and said, well, you didn't really learn from what you experienced before. Oh, yeah, it's going to work. It's going to be good. I love it. And he injured himself again. So you see, there is a strength of every movement, and the strength of every movement has the certain percentages. It's like the body is this machine, but all the wheels and everything else has the certain strength, like in the engine. Certain wheels are smaller and bigger and so on, but everything works perfectly. And that's how the happy body was designed, to deliver the power everywhere, that the links are equal to each other, and the person can wait for one weak spot to catch up with the others and create this beautiful machine that works perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, not a great analogy, but they say if you want to go fast, go alone, right? So if you want to go fast, you get in big triceps, just like work the triceps. But if you want to go far and not get injured, you have to work together. You have to move as the slowest one. You move
exactly. You have to be this 10% compound interest and know when it's too much and when it's not enough, right? Because you can exercise for 10 years and never get better. So that's the whole compound interest idea.
Yeah. Well, Jerzy, this has been incredible. Junkia, the happy body, the symphony, everything playing in concert and making some beautiful athletic medicine therapy for life. It's a real gift of what you've provided to the world. For anyone who wants to learn more about you, more about the happy body methodology and how they can implement this in their own life, where should they look and find you?
Well, the website is the best. Everything is there. When the book is there, and the videos are there, and all the messages will be posting there. The other is the Facebook, the Happy Body also, or Jerzy Gregorek Facebook. So this is the best the beginning, how to begin really a contact. You can send me email. It goes, if you go to the webpage, it goes to me. So if people have questions or they want to create something more powerful than the Happy Body, I have also the Happy Body Elite group that I coach on a weekly basis for a year. So there is a way. Also, I'm using the balancing boards if people are bored. So this is going to come, the next thing. So a lot of people really feel like the happy body is too easy. And in a way, too easy is more boring than easy, because once you really get everything, it's not so easy. But standing on the balancing board creates a lot of more challenges and wakes up the nervous system, and it's not easy anymore at all. And it doesn't matter of which exercise.
Wow,
I love balancing.
some real goals, I guess, for me in 2026 to try to get to using the balancing board.
Yeah, I use the balancing boards with athletes that they are extreme in the speed and agility, like hockey players, skiers, surfers, and all those people that need extreme balance and speed.
That makes a lot of sense. Well, thank you. I mean, from the elite of the elite to the rest of us, the ability to tap into the happy body that's our vessel that we have the ability to access. I just want to thank you again for everything you've done. And I look forward to following this next phase into the elite world as well.
Thank you, Andrea, and appreciate to be here. And let's talk in a year and see how the practice goes, how the data is, and then talk more about it, right?
Sounds great. Thanks, Jerzy.
Thank you for joining us on today's episode of the Home of Healthspan podcast. And remember, you can always find the products, practices, and routines mentioned by today's guests, as well as many other Healthspan role models on alively.com. Enjoy a lively day.